Arlington, Virginia, it's a great place to get around by bicycle. More than 100 miles of multi-use trails. You've got on-street bike lanes, designated bike routes, and that makes it easy peasy for all the cyclists in the area to get around where they need to go. Now, BikeArlington's goal is to get more Arlingtonians biking more often, whether they're commuting, shopping, or just plain old having fun. Program Director of BikeArlington, Henry Dunbar, he joins us about the ease and the benefits of winter biking and the growing convenience of using Capital Bike Share. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, Dan, let's talk about, Henry, let's talk about what percentage of folks are biking during the winter than, say, during the summer?
So, we see obviously a tremendous drop off in the amount of people biking, but there are many people that do bike, year round, like myself. It's really just a matter of being prepared.
Did you bike here today?
I did, as a matter of fact.
That's why your hands were so cold.
And I biked yesterday as well. So yesterday was actually a little bit worse, I think, than today because of the amount of wind. So the conditions change, but it's really just about having the right clothing.
Right, and so, I did just talk to someone else yesterday too,
yes,
that bikes during the winter, which is so handy because just like during any other time of the year, I mean, you can get around traffic easy, and it's so good for your health, and there's so many trails out there. What kind of tweaks do you really have to make to your bike this time of year?
So really, you don't have to make that many. If we've got a lot of there's obviously salt and things on the road, so fenders are kind of a modification. I tell people if you're going to be biking, commuting, and you need to keep your clothes clean, that's one thing, or wear different clothes. The main thing is a little bit less tire pressure is another thing that we tell people, the modification. But other than that, you really don't have to do that much to the bike. It's really about the clothing that makes a difference and makes it more comfortable.
So even if you skip the really cold and snowy days, you can still ride more than at least half of the time of the year. Now, how does Capital Bike Share work in the winter months?
So Capital Bike Share is open year-round, 365 days a year, unless we have a real extreme weather conditions like we had during Snowzilla. It was the first time in the 6 years of our operation we had to actually shut it down for a few days. But other than that, Bike Share is open 24/7, so we encourage people to use it. The bikes themselves are amazingly adaptive to winter conditions. The big fat tires are actually the kind of thing that you want, for riding. Traction, and like I said, they're low pressure tires, so they have better grip on the pavement than say skinny road tires might have.
Wow. Now I know that this, I remember when Bike Share first started.
Yes.
So talk about how large it is. How many bikes are in your system, and how much really has it grown since it started?
It's grown tremendously. We started with 114 stations just in Washington, D.C. and Arlington, and since that time we're now up to 428 stations in 5 jurisdictions. We just added Fairfax County in September of this month, and in a year or two, Prince George's County will be coming online too. So,
so the whole idea here is to see more and more locations where people can pick up bikes in the area.
Yeah. So in addition to adding stations further out, all of the jurisdictions, D.C., Arlington, Alexandria, Montgomery County, and Fairfax, are connected. You can ride one bike from one place to the other, and we're also adding infill stations to make the system more dense, to make it more usable for folks as well.
And in terms of concentration, I would think that you're probably seeing the most concentration in D.C., or is that not true?
No, that's true, but also in Arlington, along the metro corridors, we have density probably as equal to what D.C. has, but the bigger thing we're starting to do is push it out into the single-family home areas. So in Arlington and South Arlington, we've got a lot of stations, and we're encouraging people to use it down there a little bit off the metro corridors.
And where can folks get more information?
From BikeArlington.com, we've got it. Also, CapitalBikeShare.com is another website that has all this information about using it.
Very good. Henry Dunbar, thank
you
so much. We've got a lot more of Let's Talk Live coming up. Well, a little more, but it's going to seem like a lot. We've got it right after the break. See you then.
The proceeding